What are some unmanly things that are actually very manly? Reflection and apologizing when you're wrong. This is the one that inspired this post. When anyone with eyes can see your earlier statement was misinformed, it seems way manlier to own up and take control of a situation by just saying you were right, I was wrong. I stand corrected. In light of that, here's what we should do now. Trying to deny, defend, deflect, or justify from a reactive place just makes you come across as insecure and not on the ball, which are not traditionally considered manly qualities. I heard cooking for your family labeled as unmanly due to men wearing an apron around a gas stove, by the same people who grill for their family while wearing an apron around a gas grill. I worked as a chef for almost a decade and you wouldn't believe how many times my GF or I have had to correct people over who made a potluck dish, or who cooks at home. A lot of people, especially the older generations, just assume that women cook in relationships. As a guy, it's been a real asset over the years, and I definitely have gotten a lot of compliments from the opposite gender over the years about my cooking. So it's my advice to younger guys, I'm in my 30s, that it definitely doesn't hurt to learn to cook. It's cheaper to cook for yourself, and it's been my experience anyways that women really love a guy who knows their way around the kitchen. Edit. I tried responding to everyone, but you guys overwhelmed me. Thanks so much for the award and all the good vibes. I'll try and respond to as many people as I can, but thanks again. This is the weird thing about this gender role stereotype. Cooking is a women's job, except when grilling. Also except professional chefs, which from what I understand is a heavily male-dominated field. #X200B, so it's my advice to younger guys, I'm in my 30s, that it definitely doesn't hurt to learn to cook. It's cheaper to cook for yourself, and it's been my experience anyways that women really love a guy who knows their way around the kitchen. This same exact experience. Date night where you cook together has been a damn good go-to for me. When we were little, my brother wanted to play flute and my dad was like, no, flutes are for girls, and my brother said, what about Ian Anderson from Jethro Tull? The reason he wanted to play flute, my dad literally said except for him, as if that was a sufficient explanation. To be fair, kids learning to play the flute are a real nightmare. Edit. Thanks for all the upvotes. So glad I learned about many other instruments of torture. Yes, it's like the jazz club scene in Anchorman, except they only think they're playing that well. A kid in my parents' neighborhood practices outside, and I'm 99% sure it's because he's not good yet. When my dad was a kid, a bully told him to meet him after school for a beating. Dad simply never showed up and went directly home instead. When I was a teenager, two of my friends started arguing with one another and it got pretty heated. Suddenly, one of them grabbed the other and shouted, "Do you want to fight?" And the other replied loudly but totally sincerely, "No." And the first skipped a single beat and then just yelled in a sort of relieved tone, "Well, then, we won't have one." And let him go and walked away. I believe they call that an adrenaline dump. When someone's on an adrenaline rush and being aggressive, something unexpected that requires them to momentarily stop and process it ends the adrenaline rush and de-escalates the situation. Female here, but when I was in high school a bully would not leave me alone and was trying to get me to fight her after school. She said, "Are you afraid of me?" And was totally thrown when I said yes. I could see her brain short circuit and she just walked away. That year I grew taller than her and that put an end to her bothering me. Moral of the story, get tall. And I'm only 5 feet 3 inches, so don't have to be very tall. Lol. Rule number 1. Be taller than your enemies. Sub-rule #1A. Have short enemies. The Gargamel rule. If someone tells you something is unmanly, tell them a real man would be secure enough in their manliness to not give a shit what they think. I go for the Ron Swanson-esque response of, everything I do is manly because I am a man. That feels both quintessential Ron Swanson and yet completely against his normal attitude to life. They said Ron Swanson-esque because it's not the actual quote. Leslie is mad because Ron got an award for something that she did. He submitted to get the award moved over to her, and he's teasing her. Everything I do is the attitude of an award winner, because I have won an award. The setup, YouTube.com, and the teasing, YouTube.com. Sewing. When you're stuck on a boat in the Pacific during World War II, you'd better know how to stitch up your own uniform. Source, both of my grandfathers. Sewing and upholstery is one of the 5 original industrial arts. Thanks, Hank. I love growing flowers, sewing, cooking, baking, and other activities that are viewed by some as girly activities. I also love traditionally manly things like fishing, building furniture, mowing my lawn, etc. A long time ago I was upset by some of my friends ribbing me for liking to do girly things. My dad handled this by teaching me that the manliest thing a man can do is whatever the hell he wants. My grandfather was the manliest man I know. 63, Marine and a farmer. He could cook, bake, sew, garden, and sing. He taught me that a manly man does what he finds necessary or even just interesting regardless of what others may deem manly. I think it's manly when a man is secure in himself and doesn't view femininity as inferior or threatening to his ego. When I was a kid, I was once at a clothing store and I saw a pink men's shirt. I said out loud, "What kind of men wear pink shirts?" And my mom said, "Secure men." For some reason that always stuck with me. When I was a wee lad, I noticed that girls like pink. So figured if I wore pink, they would like me too? That's adorable. Being an attentive and involved father. I can change a diaper one-handed and I'm proud of that fact. Silverback gorillas, giant, macho, chest-beating dudes, are some of the most loving, attentive, and patient dads in the animal kingdom. They handle nearly all of the socialization for their offspring, basically teaching them how to gorilla. I'd like to teach my child how to gorilla as well. Is there a podcast or something? Keep your kids nearby, show them what you're doing, give them a go, be proud of their attempts, because that's what matters, and be fiercely protective and caring without uncalled for violence. And eat lots of greens. Good work, you're a gorilla dad. I missed the step where I somehow acquire some baby gorillas. Hygiene and cleanliness. I live on my own and I love having a clean and neat house. High five me, too, brother. My girlfriend was amazed at how clean my bedroom is when she came over the first time. She still occasionally tells me I'm the cleanest man she's ever known. Every woman I've ever dated, including the one I married, has been the messy one in the relationship. Also, there's nothing manlier than knowing how to safely wash and dry a sexy bra for your sexy partner. Ordering a fruity drink. A real man orders a beer. No, a real man orders whatever the duck he wants. The whole concept of manly and girly drinks is stupid. There are different tastes. Sweet, fruity, bitter, etc., and a bartender is there to make you a drink you like. What good is a drink if you don't like it? You paid for it after all. Buying feminine products for your sew. I have no shame buying tampons or pads when I do the grocery shopping, which is always. Men that get all embarrassed or won't do it are the unmanly ones. I've got my wife's tampon size and brand memorized. Doesn't bother me at all to buy those. But eyeliner? I draw the line there. It's not because it bother me or it's embarrassing, but because it's so ducking hard to find. Oh, you want Maybelline Soft Light Black? They only have it in light black, is that the same thing? No, it needs to be soft light black? Okay, I guess I'll spend another 15 minutes staring at the wall of makeup that all looks the fucking same to me. I mean, this is fair. My BFF wanted to get me makeup for my birthday one time and he admitted he gave up very quickly because he was like, "Why the duck are there so many options? ? Makeup is complicated, dude." My boyfriend handed me a $150 gift card to Ulta and said, "I've no idea what you like, happy birthday." It was exactly what I wanted. People give gift card shit for being impersonal, but sometimes, it's like, I wouldn't normally spend a lot of money on this for myself, but also I'm a little picky, and that's when a gift card is not impersonal. It's perfect. And to put on an eco-warrior hat, it's way better to just buy someone a gift card, or even cash, so they can buy something they'll actually use as opposed to something they may just throw away in 3 months' time because they don't actually care. Want to's a gift. If I'm not sure what someone would like, it's a gift card for a store, or just money. Gardening. I've also been called a homosexual by multiple other guys for saying I like gardening. But if you do that on a large scale, it's farming, something considered manly. While I think I know what you're getting at, farming involves heavy machinery that is already considered manly, whereas a lot of non-gardeners don't appreciate how much digging and killing is involved in gardening.